Well, the answer is because I care deeply about making a positive difference in helping the most vulnerable and supporting those who are most in need.
What happens when a member of the extended royal family crosses a line so publicly, so visibly, at one of the most prestigious events on the British royal calendar, that the future Queen of England herself has no choice but to act? Tonight, we are diving deep into a royal story that palace insiders are whispering about behind closed doors. A royal banquet, a serious breach of royal decorum, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, the woman being groomed to one day sit on the throne, drawing a line that even Camilla's closest family could not cross. This is the story the palace doesn't want told. Who are Camilla's grandchildren, and why do they matter at court? To understand this story, you need to know that Camilla, who is now Queen Consort, is not just a stepmother to William and Harry, she is also a grandmother. Her grandchildren, from her son Tom Parker Bowles and her daughter Laura Lopes, are in a complicated position in the British monarchy. Camilla has 5 grandchildren. Tom has 2, Lola and Freddie. Laura has 3, Eliza, Gus, and Louis. None of these children has a royal title. They do not perform any official royal duties. However, their connection to the crown gives them a unique status. Because their grandmother is a queen, they attend exclusive events and socialize in high circles that most people never reach. With this privilege comes the expectation that they will behave in a way that reflects well on the royal family. Experts on royal protocol say that extended family members, especially those without titles, must follow stricter unwritten rules than working royals. This is because working royals receive training, protection, and other support to help them meet expectations. In contrast, extended family members are private citizens in very public situations. When they make mistakes, the royal family must respond. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams has discussed how the palace handles what he calls the extended family problem. The closer someone is to the royal family by blood or marriage, the more their actions reflect on the crown. The palace usually addresses issues quietly through private discussions. However, there are times when this approach is not enough. Camilla has talked about the difficulties of blending her family with royal life. Before marrying Charles, she expressed a desire to protect her children from the pressures of royal life. By many accounts, she has kept her grandchildren away from the spotlight. They are not often photographed or the focus of tabloid stories. For the most part, they live normal lives. But these normal lives include common behaviors. When these behaviors appear at formal events, such as a white tie banquet at Windsor Castle, they quickly attract attention. This is the main issue at the heart of our story. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has reportedly reached a point where she will no longer ignore these matters. The banquet setting. Why Windsor Castle is the most unforgiving stage in the world. There is no venue in the United Kingdom, and arguably no venue in the world, where behavioral expectations are higher than at Windsor Castle during a state or formal royal banquet. This is not an exaggeration. It is an example of palace architecture serving as social architecture. Windsor Castle is the world's oldest and largest occupied castle. It has stood in some form since the 11th century. St. George's Hall, the primary venue for state banquets, stretches over 55 meters long, and its ceiling is adorned with the heraldic shields of every Knight of the Garter since the order's founding in 1348. Suits of armor line the walls, and footmen dressed in livery have perfected the precise choreography needed to serve over 150 guests with military precision. Every fork placement has meaning, and every seating arrangement is the result of days of diplomatic negotiation. Even the flower arrangements are chosen to communicate something significant. Former royal butler Grant Harold, who served Prince Charles for years and is now one of Britain's leading etiquette experts, describes royal banquets as essentially a form of theater. Every element is deliberate, and every guest is expected to be a performer in this theater. There is no moment off, Harold has explained in various media appearances. From the moment you step through those doors, you are representing not just yourself, but everyone who invited you. The dress code alone emphasizes the seriousness of the occasion. White tie, the most formal dress code in existence, is mandatory. For men, this means a white waistcoat, a white bow tie, a tailcoat, and typically, the display of any orders, medals, or decorations they have been awarded. For women, floor-length gowns are expected, often accompanied by tiaras, if they are entitled to wear them. There is no room for self-expression. The uniform itself conveys the message. Conformity equates to respect. At the center of this theater, Catherine increasingly stands. Since her return to public life following her cancer treatment in 2024, the Princess of Wales has been visibly and decisively stepping into a more commanding role within the institution. Royal commentators, from Omid Scobie to Valentine Lowe to Robert Hardman, have noted that Catherine carries herself differently now. An insider described to The Times a quiet authority that she radiates at formal events. She is no longer the nervous young woman who joined the royal family in 2011 and spent years learning the rules. She is becoming a symbol of those rules for a new generation of the monarchy. Now, imagine this backdrop: a cathedral of royal discipline and centuries of protocol, disrupted by a guest who behaves in a way that contradicts everything that setting demands. Imagine this guest is not a random attendee, but someone connected by blood to the Queen herself. The person who notices this behavior and who possesses the presence of mind and institutional authority to respond is Catherine. She is the woman who has survived cancer, rebuilt her life, and is quietly but unmistakably preparing for the day she might wear a crown of her own. What does she do? According to those close to the situation, she responds precisely how a future queen should respond. Catherine's quiet authority, the new power dynamic inside the palace. Recent changes in the royal family's power dynamics have been significant, particularly in Kensington Palace and Windsor Castle. This shift has become clearer in the last 2 years. In the 2000s, King Charles and Camilla were central to the monarchy, while William and Kate were seen as the next generation, waiting their turn. However, this view is outdated. Since King Charles's cancer diagnosis became public in early 2024, and Catherine's own cancer journey that same year, perceptions have changed. The public witnessed an aging king facing serious illness alongside Catherine, who showed remarkable strength during tough times. Catherine's return to public life, marked by a Mother's Day photograph that gained media attention and a moving appearance at Trooping the Colour, signaled something new. Many royal observers believe this marks the launch of a new era, showcasing Catherine as a future leader. Royal historian Dr. Ed Owens notes that how the public views a royal affects their power. He argues that popularity is power in the monarchy. When the public admires a royal, it confers legitimacy on them beyond their title. Currently, Catherine is the most trusted and admired member of the royal family, surpassing Charles and Anne and significantly outpacing Camilla, who still deals with her controversial past. This change is very important for the palace's internal dynamics. In a place where hierarchy is critical, informal authority, such as public trust, can sometimes overshadow official rank. Camilla is the Queen, and Catherine is the Princess of Wales, but many believe Catherine now influences the royal family's culture. Those who work with Catherine describe her as detail-oriented, committed to upholding the dignity of events, and growing less tolerant of actions that reflect poorly on the monarchy. An insider in 2025 noted that Catherine has a clear understanding of what the monarchy should and should not represent. This clarity, along with her resilience, makes her a powerful figure within the royal family. When she takes action, she carries significant authority. The alleged incident, what palace insiders are saying. Now we get to the main part of the story. It's important to be clear about what we know, what is being claimed, and what we hear from unofficial sources. The palace neither confirms nor denies information. It stays quiet, letting stories grow or fade based on the level of interest they generate. Recently, royal YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, and blogs have talked about a formal event at Windsor, which is part of the royal schedule. At this event, someone from Camilla's extended family reportedly acted in a way that one guest, anonymously, described as wholly inappropriate for the setting. This behavior falls into a broad category labeled immoral. This term can mean various things in royal terms, such as excessive drinking, inappropriate conversations, or even public indecency. The British royal family has dealt with similar situations many times. The Windsor family has had relatives who have caused embarrassment, such as Princess Michael of Kent and Prince Andrew. In these situations, the family usually follows a pattern. First, they handle it quietly. Then, if necessary, they escalate. And if it becomes public, they control the narrative. In this case, the behavior was serious enough that a quiet conversation wasn't possible right away. It needed an immediate response, and Catherine herself provided it. Sources told royal commentators that Catherine stepped in decisively and calmly. She made it clear that the individual involved had to leave the event. The word used by several sources is decisive. This means she acted without being aggressive or dramatic. Her authority was clear, and she didn't need to raise her voice. Camilla's reaction to this situation is particularly interesting. Some sources suggest she felt relieved that someone else took action. If she had handled it, it would have been much more complicated. The sight of a grandmother publicly disciplining her grandchild at a royal event would have made for an even bigger story. By acting, Catherine protected both Camilla and the royal institution. The Camilla-Catherine relationship, more complex than it appears. To understand why this moment, whether real, alleged, or dramatized, feels emotionally charged, we need to look at the relationship between Camilla and Catherine. It's a complicated yet fascinating dynamic in the modern royal family. On the surface, their relationship looks friendly and respectful. They appear together at public events, such as Trooping the Color, engaging in warm conversations. At state events, they show a united front as royal women who understand their roles. Unlike the visible tension between Meghan and Camilla, there's no awkwardness here. However, royal commentators note a significant underlying tension. This isn't about personal animosity, it's about the institution. Camilla gained her position through a very controversial path. Her marriage to Charles followed one of the most publicized love triangles in recent history, in which Diana, still beloved almost 30 years after her passing, became a sympathetic victim. Camilla has worked for 2 decades to change her image and has largely succeeded. The public now accepts her role as queen, which is a remarkable achievement. In contrast, Catherine is Diana's daughter-in-law. She has stepped into the role at the heart of the public's feelings about the monarchy, helping to heal the wounds left by Charles and Camilla's affair. Catherine's popularity is tied to Diana's legacy. She wears Diana's jewels, carries her tiara, and reflects Diana's grace in a traditionally cold institution. The symbolism is clear. Royal psychologist Dr. Tara Well explains how public figures in competitive environments form what she calls parallel authority structures that operate alongside the traditional hierarchy. In the royal family, Camilla has the official rank, while Catherine holds popular support. Most of the time, these roles coexist without conflict, but there are instances, like the one we are discussing, where they clash. Catherine's recent actions are significant because they handled this tension well. She didn't publicly overrule Camilla or embarrass her. Instead, she approached a problem in a way that benefited everyone involved: the institution, Camilla, and the individual at the center of the situation, who was spared a potentially worse outcome. By doing this, she showed the kind of political intelligence that royal commentators believe will be key to her future role. Former Palace Press Secretary Dickie Arbiter often talks about the difference between a royal who is royal and one who acts royal. By that standard, Catherine's recent actions were clearly the latter, showcasing her ability to navigate the pressures of royal life. What this moment reveals about the future of the monarchy. We are currently in a transition period for the British monarchy. The future of the monarchy is being shaped not by formal announcements, but by significant moments like the one we are discussing. King Charles III became king later in life than any of his predecessors. At 76 years old, he faces serious health issues. Despite this, he shows great dignity and commitment to his role, which has positively influenced public opinion. However, his age and health raise questions about the succession and what kind of monarchy William and Catherine will create. This is not just a future concern. It actively influences decisions made at Windsor and Buckingham Palace. Catherine's vision for the monarchy emerges through the causes she supports, such as early childhood development, mental health, the arts, and community building. She raises her children away from intense royal scrutiny while teaching them about public duty. She has also dealt with her own health issues openly, changing how the public views the royal family. Royal biographer Robert Hardman has pointed out that Catherine seeks to evolve the monarchy, not to change it completely. She values its continuity, traditions, and sense of permanence in a chaotic world. However, she is quietly making it her own. Making the monarchy her own means showing her values. It involves standing up calmly and decisively when those values are challenged. It means doing what is necessary, regardless of family ties or political considerations. The recent incident at Windsor resonates because it aligns with what we know about Catherine. She grew up under media scrutiny, became a beloved royal, faced cancer, and returned stronger and more determined. At 44, she plays a crucial role in the monarchy's future. The question for Camilla's family and the broader royal family is clear. Are you here to support the institution or for personal access? The woman who will one day be queen expects everyone in the room to support the institution. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more royal stories. Comment below. Do you think Catherine was right to act? Who do you think has more authority in the palace right now? Camilla or Catherine? See you next time.